extremely hot. The desert Southwest, record high temperatures, possible all-time records, possible temperatures extremely hot. Over 120 degrees in places like Blythe. Today we're talking about the heat. We're going to talk about the air quality. This is an air quality map from Purple Air, and it shows you the Oregon fires and that smoke propagating outward towards Montana, Idaho. Today we're talking about the heat. We're going to talk about the air quality. This is an air quality map from Purple Air, Wyoming, and those areas. And in the Bay Area, we have a spare the air alert again today because of the fire, the Morgan fire, up in Sonoma County. We'll look at the latest computer models as well and get you all set and going in the right direction. This is Purple Air showing the air quality, which is less than desirable in the Pacific Northwest. It's bad. It's some of the worst air quality in the world right now. We'll see that in a minute. Now, the smoke does not appear as bad as it did yesterday, right? So you can see two things going on here, right? This is the visible satellite. You see California here, Oregon, you can see the lines. Then you see the fog along the coast, and especially the north coast. Not that much fog. It's because of this. So a low pressure center, that's a swirl. It's rotating this way. It's in the winter, this is rain, right? But in the summer, it disrupts the marine layer here. You see that chunk of lift? The inversion gets broken up. And so we'll look at the inversions in just a minute. But you get the idea that smoke is being pushed out. The southerly winds, the rotation around that low is pushing the smoke outward and creating smoke downwind in places like Glacier. This is how air quality looks in terms of the world. And again, Purple Air is community sourced, so you have to buy a sensor, you put it in. California has, in the United States have tons of sensors. Europe does too, parts of North America or South America, but some areas don't have it. It's just not, the crowdsourcing is not there yet, but you get the idea. Some of the worst air quality in the planet the last 3 or 4 days has been in our Pacific Northwest region. So a lot of times we sort of point the finger at China, but these wildfires really create poor air quality. This is Glacier, and actually I've been showing live pictures from Glacier. This is the smoke from the Oregon fires because it's such a scenic spot, and but the cameras, it actually looks a little better today, believe it or not. Might be because it's a little later in the day and the air lifts. At night, the smoke, if you're staying at like McDonald Lake, I've been to this lake, it's beautiful. The air cools, and when air cools, when the sun sets, the air sinks, and with the sinking air comes the sinking smoke, and it condenses it in a smaller layer, a shallower inversion. There's an inversion almost every morning in this area, and that's what we're looking at there, but it's better today. This is the watches, or these are the watches, warnings, and concerns. There's the ridge of high pressure. Draw it in every day for you. That's at 18,000 feet. At the surface, that's what it produces. Bad air quality, smoke concerns, fire danger, extreme heat warnings, you name it, we got it. And along the coast, you have surf advisories, especially in Southern California, because when it gets hot, especially in an urban area like Los Angeles, and you have millions of people want to get away from the heat, they come to the coast. And they come to the coast and they bump into what we'll see in a minute here, some larger surf. These are the fires burning now. This is watchduty.org. California not doing too bad for fires, right? Not bad at all, actually. We had the Morgan fire near Timber Cove. It's 143 acres. It's right here. And that fire, I wonder why it's not clicking. There it goes. That fire is 40% contained. I don't know if we have any pictures of it. The wind started off on this fire very aggressively out of the north, and that's why it spread rapidly to the south. So the wind was blowing like this, of course, right into the Bay Area. Right, let's see, I'll show you this. And the smoke, yesterday was noticeable. I happened to be in, where was I? I was in Tiburon yesterday. But the smoke was transported all this way, and the smoke still lingers, especially this morning, in these areas. So you have a spare the air day in the Bay Area yet again today because of the Woodside fire. But the Woodside fire, they're going to get a handle on it because the winds, we'll see that coming up too. The winds are more westerly. Before they were northerly, a little drier, a little more robust, and spreading south. But now you've got the winds pushing off the ocean. Humidity's increased greatly. That helps fuel moistures and the whole shooting match. Yesterday, I did make a mistake. I probably made 100 mistakes yesterday, according to my wife. But this is the smoke model. What I'm saying is, because that's the smoke from the Morgan fire, and I didn't pick up on it yesterday. It didn't show up that well. So this is the model. And so you can see the Morgan fire smoke, and then you see the smoke from the Oregon fires, obviously much more prevalent. Look at that. So streams coming off of it. But you see the Morgan fire pushing smoke into the Sacramento Valley. You see them? And so, yeah, so that's smoke. Smoke's a thing. And again, purple air, crowdsourced, smoke is bad. It comes in all different sizes. Mainly purple air is measuring 2 point. It doesn't measure chemical composition of particulate. It measures just the size of the particulate. Because anything gets into your lung and sticks to it, especially when you're 100 years old like me, causes an infection easily if you're predisposed. You've heard it from me a bunch. But air quality, someday, you guys, someday, that when they start making, they already have, but when they start making one-to-one correlations between your health and air quality, there's a lot going on. This is the wedge, and a couple things to point out. First of all, you don't want to swim out there. What's happening here? The swell's coming in. We're facing south. Swell's down a little bit. It's going to drop this week and then come back up. But what's happening is the waves come in. What's going on here? Oh, it's a rip. It's a rip current going out. That's why it's frothy along the coast, along there too, because it's breaking on the rocks. But you're seeing the rip current. You also probably have a rip current right here as well. So it's going, water comes in. This is what all rip current is. The wave comes in, it has to go somewhere. So it goes out. And the jetty provides a real focused rip. We used to, you guys probably remember this, second lot we called it. We had a pier that when they put in the sewage treatment plant at San Francisco, remember that down by the old fly shacker pools? Those giant outdoor pools that the lifeguards use canoes in. It's classic San Francisco, but they put in a pier, and along that pier, sandbar would build up, and we'd surf it. But if you wanted to come back out to the break, you would go out through the middle of the pier where it was deeper, and you could, right, because the rip would go that way, and it would come off the sandbar, and you could get pushed out under the pier. And I wonder why this isn't working. I remember, it'll come on, there we go. Okay. I remember paddling into the pier a couple times. So on big days, that's how we used to get out. I'm not a big wave surfer, but I was young and stupid. But we used to paddle out under the pier to get out through the breakers, big ones, like 10, 15 foot. And sometimes the wave would come under the pier. It wouldn't break, but it would take you all the way up to your head. You guys remember this. Pier's tall. Pier's 10, 15 foot. Maybe not 15, maybe 12 foot. But you all of a sudden you'd be up and you'd be scraping the barnacles off the bottom of the pier, and then the wave would go by. I know. That's how you know it's too big. I should have just paddled back in. There is Dolphin, still a Category 4. There is Tropical Storm Genevieve, still a tropical storm. Take a look. And Genevieve here. What's happening? Well, they're both progressing, but one has progressed into cooler water, Genevieve. See the color, the yellows? And Dolphin is actually going into warmer waters, which could intensify. How do I know it's warmer water? Because the color. But also, remember, we need 79, 80 degree water to have a hurricane. See, it's 80 degrees there. It's 75 there. See how quickly the water changes when you get to the Hawaiian Islands. So this cooler water for now is protecting the Hawaiian Islands from a hurricane path. But I would assert that is this El Nino, which is a big deal and is going to be a big El Nino. Almost all indications are that. It's going to create a stair step. This 78 degree water is going to turn to 80 degree water, and you're going to have the potential in the next 3 months for activity along the Hawaiian coastline. You guys know that. And then Dolphin is still a super typhoon because Category 4 is considered super typhoon. It's a typhoon and hurricane, same thing, just other side of the date line. And then see how much warmer the water is? 86. Look at this, all the way to the eastern shores. So. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those. Those things that especially Dolphin, because it's hitting warmer water. Surf drops this week, comes back up next Saturday. And so look at the southern hemisphere pulsing. See it? Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. That's huge on Friday. Does it get up here? Jeez, I don't know. That's a lot of southern hemisphere on fire right now. Huh. All right. Well, that makes sense. It's our summer, their winter. These are the forecast highs for today. Warmer. Sacramento's going to break 100 degrees. Sacramento hasn't had that many 100-degree days this year. Had a few. But I think it's behind where it would normally be. It's been a really nice summer so far. But this is our run. This is what you're going to see, is how prolific this heat event is going to be. Not so much for the Bay Area, I don't think, because we're seeing that. Remember, yesterday we looked at that onshore flow. We're going to see a bit of a sea breeze that kind of keeps the entirety of the coast, even LA, kind of manageable, which is, yeah, no duh, Bill. But that's oftentimes you'll get a northerly wind and that'll cut the sea breeze off. I think the sea breeze remains. So it's going to be these interior slots that are going to really benefit, if you can call it that, from the extreme heat. Weather Service headlines. Oh, we're going to use a lot of tools today. We do look at Weather Service headlines. Scrub through to find the models if you want those. Computer models. California north to south. Air quality, reservoir levels, blah, blah, blah. But good stuff. Swell energy. Look at some nature snacks after that, and it's going to be just downright awesome. So just grab a cup of coffee. Put me on in the background. You got stuff to do, man. You're gardening. You're doing cool stuff. I would, sometimes I re-listen to these. And I just don't watch them. I listen because I go, is it listening okay? And I think it is. I think it's like, it's like morning radio sometimes. It's fun to watch too. I think the visuals are awesome too. But I think it's just a tour through the 24 hours of California and what's coming, what came. Just kind of like, here's what I think. I believe truly in my heart of hearts that from surfing, from fly fishing, from all the things that we do, that when you immerse yourself in something, it's completely meditational and awesome, right? Surfing is that. You forget where you are. Fly fishing, like you watch a little dry fly for hours, right? You immerse and you're in the environment. You hear the birds, you see the bugs. This is our environment. And you can immerse in it every day, kind of virtually in some ways, but also we experience it. You step outside, you're going to go for your walk today. I know you are. And you're going to step outside and you're going to immerse yourself in this type of thing. And when you understand it and you feel it and you flow with it, and that's what I say when I'm gone for a few days and I come back, it's hard to get back in that, it's hard to get back into the wave. You want to ride it. You got to keep riding it, right? So that's why I do these. It's for me and you. 102 degrees today in Sacramento, 103 on Sunday. So there's a sea breeze still. It's not going to be 110 in Sacramento. That's what the Weather Service is saying. These are the headlines. Redding, $107, $108 on Monday. They're calling Monday, Tuesday the warmest days. That's Redding. So you can see it's hot, but it's nothing biblical. It's just going to be extended. This is San Francisco saying, boy, it's going to be hot, dry, and fire danger. So elevated fire concerns, summertime, you bet. Coastal flood and high surf advisories, Southern California, you bet. Heat advisories, have they been taken? They've been up for day after day after day. And you guys in LA are so patient with the humidity because it's nonstop. Oh my God, Belle, because it's really El Nino, way down there. Brings a few clouds once in a while. We'll bring more stuff as we go towards the fall. But it also just seeps a little bit warmer water north, captured coastal convective waves, Kelvin waves, pardon me. And that moves, and it's a little warmer. So more humidity, 2%, 3% more humidity. That's all it takes, man. 90 degrees with 3% increase, you notice it. And so that's what's happening in LA. That's why it feels miserable at times down there. Dangerous temperatures. And this is awesome. I hear it's kind of bummed when I saw it. I said, don't drink coffee, don't drink beer, don't eat heavy foods, don't leave your kids in the car. That's the only one I can go with because I'm eating heavy foods and I'm drinking a punch of coffee right now. And I had 2 beers last night. That was awesome. And then this is the guys out in the desert going. Phoenix is going to go $116. I saw Blythe potentially. Looks like they're going to peak on temperatures the next couple of days. I saw Blythe potentially going to $120, which would make sense. Let's see if I can blow these up. Sometimes these kind of go away. This is the current satellite image, and we should see the low, right? That's not supposed to be there, man. That's not supposed to be there, and that's kind of supplying these guys, keeping them out of the heat. But that changes. This low actually stays around, and as we go towards the end of next week, creates sort of the potential or increases the potential for this monsoonal moisture that's going to come in towards the end of the week. So anyway, here's what we got, right? It's hot. This is computer model number 1, 18,000 foot, 500 millibar. There's that low I just pointed out, right? So no big mystery. And the orange is hot. Blue is below average. So these are anomalies. This is above where it should be, right? It's not just warm, it's above what it should be. It's always warm in summer, but it's above where it should be. The purple and the whites are at or below. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? kind of this low goes by. We get into tomorrow. It's above average. Looks a little cooler on Sunday night into Monday, a little bit. And then look at it build in. This time it's a little bit over the north part of the state, our country. Look at that. That's nutty. There's the Four Corners high setting up. See that closed low or high, pardon me. Kinda. It's trying to set up. Look at that. That's on Thursday. Jeez. And then it shifts. Look at that high, you guys. So what am I showing you? Is this going to happen for sure? And then that's when the monsoonal stuff looks like it wants to happen, when that low starts pushing that low down, the high down. You don't have to worry about that. That's down the road. But what I see here is prolonged days of heat in the inland Bay Valleys, the desert Southwest. And that means whatever you're dealing with now, you're dealing with the next through next Sunday. Yeah, through next Sunday. Okay, there I said it. These are 850. This 850 millibar. So that was 500 millibar halfway up the atmosphere. This is lower because it's heavier. The atmosphere is heavier as you go lower, so the number gets bigger. You're measuring millibars. Use millibars instead of inches because it's more granular, the number movement. Inches don't, right, 3.55 or whatever. This is, it moves more. So basically what we're looking at here is 800 millibars, 850. And I'm just showing you the heat, the above average temperatures at the surface. Look at it. Day after day after day. It tries to cool off. We're on next Tuesday. Look at the dark oranges, you guys. Dark orange is well above average in California. Well, average is 95 degrees in the Central Valley. So these are 100 plus days. They're going to have a run if this transpires. And then it finally breaks. So these are more surface temperatures. This is Grass Valley temperatures, right? 5,000 feet, or Colfax. Look at this bulb. God dang. There it starts to manage, right? That's towards the end of next week. Yeah, that looks better. So that's what we're looking at. So what do you do? And then there is a sea breeze. That you've looked at this a lot. And that's the thing that kind of is awesome about this for California, the Bay Area, for Central California, is you've got just enough. The north wind it's more of a northwest flow, so there's a westerly component, and you're getting cooler air into the Sacramento Valley. It just means not 110, but 102, and that's awesome. These are the temperature forecasts. I think this is I'm just going to take this one this is for Monday, but it works for tomorrow too. So Redding 109, 110 in Baker and Red Bluff. So these are the numbers you're looking at. These are the numbers you're looking at all week, man. And then along the coast, you see the reds. That's the sea breeze. It's just enough. And the mountains, that you're seeing elevation, right? That's why it's cooler, because you go up in the atmosphere. You probably know this, right? You go up in the air expands and cools. So it's harder to get it. That's why Truckee is considered one of the coolest cities in the country. Not just because there's colder places all the time, but during the summer and Truckee's so high up that it's hard to get. It stays a little cooler. That's all. So and then we go to Southern California, buck 14 in Bakersfield. Are these numbers right on? No, but the trend is right. That's what we're looking at, you guys. That's all. That's the part of that flow thing I was talking about. I've always just looked at trends, and that's all. Most meteorologists look at trends. This is interesting. I've never used this before, but this is NSEP, Saturday the 1st. Those numbers, if you can read them, represent records. So we're looking for Lancaster to break a record of 109, 117 in Mexicali. These are just the National Weather Service homepage. Tucson 105 on Sunday. More records. See, the desert Southwest is loaded with them. Buck 17 in Mexicali, Las Vegas on Sunday, 114, 106 in Sacramento on Monday. So that indicates maybe that sea breeze cuts off a little bit Monday. Makes sense based on what we saw. Reno 101 on Tuesday. Looks like the desert Southwest mellows out a little, doesn't it? 106. I don't know where that buck 6 is up in Bakersfield, Fresno. I don't know where I feel like that's on the east side this year. I think that number's in a bad spot. I think it is. I think it's on the other. It's out towards Bishop. So it looks like the real heat, this is the period here. This Saturday, Sunday, Monday for record heat. And then when's the monsoon come back? Shows up when that low kicks in right here. So that's on Wednesday the 12th. And that comes back. It looks like it comes back. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it come back. All right, those are the models. This is the Mount Shasta camera. It's going to be hot up there today, too. Watch out for, God, I used to fish in the cloud this time of year. I'm going up in a little while, but the rattlesnakes, dude, so many. I can't tell you how many snakes I've seen on the PCT, the Pacific Crest Trail. There's some really good fishing. You guys know it's not many people do it, but you just do some hiking and bushwhacking. But man, I have bumped into more rattlesnakes, and I'm scared of white sharks and rattlesnakes, and I bump into them all the time because I bump into them so much. Rattlesnakes are scarier than white sharks because my ears are bad, so I can't even hear them rattle anymore. I don't know. I could tell you stories. This is out by Fortuna area. Is this? Yeah. What do we got? We got Morgan Hill Fire, Bay Area, Union Reservoir. Okay. Yeah. That's Kuski. I think I'm saying it right, you guys. But look at that weather. That's that low offshore. So see how it looks at Kuski right now? Let's see if I can find it. I want to do this. Do I want to do it? Yeah, I want to do it. Because, okay, so you see how it looks, right? Get a visual snapshot of that bad boy, and there's the low. And that's because it blows up the inversion. Fog can't exist. So it's the moisture's in the air. It's just a larger column of air. So it kind of goes away. So that's Kuski. This is this is completely out of control now. Okay, we did Kuski. Let's look at the fog. Inversion's about 1,200 feet or 1,800 feet deep. But what I noticed, you can't see it. I wish you could. I got to figure out how to fix this. But we've got sort of a north wind there, which is kind of making it hard for the moisture and the fog to stay intact. So that north wind is still at least at up to 8,000 feet. It's still blowing 15, 20 knots out of the north. So that makes it tough for the fog to form. This is the Union Reservoir, completed in 1963. It's at almost 5,000 feet, 4,800 feet, Union Reservoir. And we talked about the other day, but Union Reservoir they were a water company, and they were all about they came about during the gold rush for hydraulic mining. They developed damming systems and ways to capture water, and now it's an important hydroelectric reservoir on the Upper American. They call it the Upper American River Project. Yeah, Union Reservoir. I've never been there. Copperopolis. Always blown away by that. That name was given. They discovered during the Civil War. They discovered copper there. And obviously, and the copper was used in the Civil War. A lot of the silver and the silver, they hadn't found the silver yet. The gold, if you think about the gold rush, 1849, and then the Civil War in the 1860s, early 70s, 1870s, California was not really, just barely a state, but the United States was fighting this war in the South, and they go, we need resources. So they sent Brewer and McKinley and all these surveyors out west to find gold, more silver, more copper to finance the war effort against the South. So all ties together. It's all about the same time. So Copperopolis was founded during the Civil War, 1860. After the copper, that's it. That's all. It's Copperopolis. It's not a very creative name. I mean, it's not. It's not. I'm sure, again, the Native Americans, I'm sure, had a really awesome name for it before we stole it and called it Copperopolis. 88 degrees right now in Sacramento. Winds are light. You see the sticks? There's that northwest. See that? Just enough of a northwest wind right there on the coast where the fire is. It's 29 gusts, but that's helping the firefighters. This is New Melones. We've checked it before. It's doing well. This is how much water it could hold. This is how much it has. So it's above historical average, which is awesome. And then San Francisco, beautiful shot. That's Golden Gate Park, and that's the fog. The towers on the Golden Gate Bridge are about 720 feet high. So as in my day, I would just look over there. Before the internet, I was a TV guy, and I could, the inversion. I'd nail the inversion just looking at the tower. Inversion's about 1,000 feet. It probably won't do that. Let's see if it does it. Oh yeah. Okay, then it does it. So but the problem, it shows how dry it is at the surface. But the inversion it's pretty shallow. It's really shallow, and it's dry all the way up. Okay. Salinas Valley. Temperatures in the Salinas Valley right now. Let's check those. These are surface obs. Whoops. San Jose, Salinas Valley here. That's where we're looking. Soledad's 90 degrees. It's going to be hot, man. These areas, and now you're getting into the heat advisories in Los Banos, 92 degrees right now. And you notice the Bay Area, I predicted that we'd see those heat advisories come up, but I don't think we're going to, quite frankly. This, my friend, appears to be Copperopolis again. How did I go backwards? I did. This is Santa Barbara. A little bit of fog, but not much. It's going to be hot down there, but you'll still have a slight sea breeze. Victorville. Victorville is named for Jacob Nash Victor, superintendent of the Southern California Railroad. It's just like all the bigwigs with the railroad just named towns after themselves. The elevation is about almost 3,000 feet, and it's a logistics hub, transportation hub on Interstate 15 between Las Vegas and Los Angeles. And you got a little desert haze going on out there. This is a beautiful shot. Isn't that awesome? Wow. And that's Saddleback, right? That's Saddleback, right? You guys check me on that. And then this is San Gorgonio. Tell me, you got to check. I mean, yeah, I think it's right. And I should know that, but I'm not going to Google it right now. This is, the air quality looks pretty good. It does. It's shallow inversion. You see how shallow it is. That's the LA Basin. And we're going to look at the air quality. We're going to look at the temperature first, right? So in Los Angeles, we're under an extreme heat warning. In Los Angeles, downtown right now, 90 degrees, 93 or 93 in Los Angeles, Victorville 102. And then we check the inversion. It's non-existent. It's just non-existent. There's an inversion, but the fog it's too dry for the fog to form. And so we'll see, you know what it's going to look like. It's, you got a shallow inversion. And, when I see air quality, it's not horrible air quality, but it's hot. And hot and bad air quality suck. This is Santa Cruz, very laney swell. This is Santa Cruz again. Swell has dropped. Swell is going to come up. This is somewhere. County line. Swell's going to come up, but not until next week. It's dropping slowly. This is Catherine Breed. She's awesome. She's a Cal swimmer, swimming this is California. We're so California. This gal is all about California. She's doing this swim to raise awareness to support California Coastal Conservancy. She's swimming the length of the state, the length of almost an 1,000-mile coastline. She is swimming. And the mental fortitude is awesome. So brave. I know she's got support boats, but so brave. Because I'm scared of that. I'm scared of sharks. Most surfers who surf a lot, you don't talk about it, but we're scared. Because you get in the water, it's a numbers game eventually. I've been around a bunch. But anyway, she's brave. This is just checking in on Jackie. She's doing okay, but I'm not super as positive as I want to be. These are the bears, right? These are the alphas, man. Coastal brown bears, related to the grizzly. God, and then they are the alphas, man. They are the ones. They're fishing sockeye salmon. This is live camera. Stunning. And when you see fish jumping, that's stunning. And then this is Wency. She's getting ready to fledge. She's a couple days, or she is beginning fledge, and she should fly in August. When did they say? I think they said early August. So she does look like she's ready to go. Remember, we watched her from an egg, or just right after she hatched. River surfing went away, and then there you go. The most active, literally, I'm going to say it. Find me a fat person. I'm an overweight person. These guys are all rocking it. Everybody's rolling. There's just nonstop kinetic energy. I like that. All right, I got to go. We're out of time. You guys are awesome. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'll be here on Monday. See ya.